The air in the clearing is thick with a silence that has weight. It is the silence of a held breath, of a conflict that needs no sound. On one side of a freshly killed forest pig sits Rook, his powerful shoulders hunched as he tears at the liver, the prize portion. On the other side sits Heron, leaner, quicker, his hands empty, his eyes fixed on Rook with a predator's stillness between them. And the reason for the silence. Willow sits with the other females. Her work of scraping a hide paused. She watches them both, her expression unreadable. This is the constant, low-grade warfare of social animals. The agonistic behavior that establishes dominance and shapes the future of the clan. This is the raw, unwritten text of hominid history. Their world, during the late Miocene, is a lush, dangerous place. The forests are deeper, the seasons less predictable than they will be for their distant descendants. Survival is a daily negotiation with a world that is largely indifferent to their existence. But the greatest pressure often comes not from without, but from within. Nook, the stronger of the two, asserts his claim to the meat with a low growl, a sound that is almost subliminal. Heron does not challenge him with force. He picks up a smooth, heavy stone, tossing it lightly in his palm, his eyes never leaving Rook. It is a gesture of latent violence, a promise. The other clan members, a small group of Hominids, their lineage a fragile thread in the tapestry of life million years ago, pretend not to notice. They have seen this dance before. It is a storm gathering on a clear day. An old male, his facial latticework of scars, is using a tool to scrape marrow from a bone. The tool is a tooth, long and curved and yellowed with age. Its root trapped in sinew. It is the canine of an Amphicyon, the bear dog, a creature that haunts the darker parts of the forest, a hunter of things much larger than Hominids. The tooth is a relic, the sting of power found, not taken. It represents the pinnacle of fear and strength in their world. Rook sees where Willow's gaze has fallen. He follows it to the tooth, in a moment of pure, uncut arrogance. He rips a final piece of liver from the carcass and stands. He points at the old male's tool. Then he points to his own chest. Then, with a sweeping, dramatic gesture, he points to the dark tree line, the bear dog's territory. The meaning is unmistakable. I will get one. It is a boast so profound, so foolish, that the quiet chatter of the clan ceases entirely. Heron rises slowly, deliberately. The stone drops from his hand. He meets Rook's challenging glare. He does not need to gesture. His entire body is a response. He simply turns and picks up his fire-hardened spear from where it leans against a tree. The wager is made. There are no words, only the terrible, binding logic of pride. Willow looks from one to the other. A flicker of something, fear, anger, regrets, in her eyes. This is not what she wanted. But the desires of females are often irrelevant in the face of the calamitous pride of males. Rook grabs his own spear. They do not look at each other now. They walk from the clearing, not together, but on parallel paths, two solitary figures marching toward a shared, self-inflicted fate. The clan watches them go, silent witnesses to a fool's hunt. The forest changes. The familiar scent of their home territory, a mix of damp earth and wood smoke, gives way to something wilder, more ancient. It is a savanna woodland mosaic, a shifting landscape of open, sun-bleached grasslands and dark, tangled copses of trees that seem to swallow the light. This is the bear dog's world. Rook moves through it with a heavy, aggressive confidence, his spear held low, his eyes scanning for tracks. Heron follows 100 paces to his left, a silent, terminal shadow. His movements more fluid, more watchful. They are not hunting together. They are racing. Their foolish pride is a wall between them, a barrier that turns the alien landscape into two separate, lonely prisons. The predation pressure here is a physical thing. The air is thick with it. They find the tracks of a saber tooth, the deep claw marks in the bark of a tree where a giant hyena has marked its territory. This world is ruled by larger, more efficient killers, their own place in the food chain, so secure back in their clearing, is dangerously uncertain here. But the rivalry blinds them. Look, so focused on finding a trail before Heron pushes carelessly through a dense thicket of thorns. He bursts into a small, secluded clearing and freezes. The smell hits him first, the rich, cloying stench of blood and viscera. In the center of the clearing lies the half-eaten carcass of an eland, its ribcage torn open, and standing over it, head raised, is the Amphicyon. It is larger than he could have possibly imagined. It is a nightmare hybrid, with the massive, powerful shoulders of a bear in the long, rangy legs of a wolf. Its head is huge, its jaws thick with muscle, capable of crushing bone to powder. It is not eating. It is watching him. Its eyes, small and black and terrifyingly intelligent, are fixed on Rook. There is no snarl, no warning growl, just a cold, calculating stillness. Rook is paralyzed. His spear feels like a twig. His arrogance evaporates, replaced by a pure, primal fear that turns his blood to ice. He has blundered into the heart of the beast's power, a fool at a king's table. From the edge of the clearing, hidden in the shadows, Heron sees it all. This is his chance. Rook is cornered, finished. He can slip away, leave his rival to his fate, and return home with a story of Rook's foolishness. But he does not move. He sees not his rival, but a member of his clan, his community, about to be erased. It is a choice made in the space of a heartbeat. Heron raises stone and hurls it against a far tree. The sharp crack echoes in the clearing. The bear dog's head whips toward the sound, its attention diverted for a single, crucial second. It is all Rook needs. He scrambles backward, crab walking in the dirt, and melts back into the thorns he just came through. The bear dog looks from the sound to the now empty space where Rook stood. It makes a low, rumbling sound,
At last,
not of
they
anger,
collapse on the
but of
grassy
frustrated
bank.
intelligence.
This
It knows it was
raft
tricked.
more than a
Rook and
tool.
Heron find each other
It is
50
a
paces
leaf
away,
in the story
their backs
of
pressed against the
human
same ancient baobab tree, their chests heaving. They do not look at each other. The rivalry is dead, incinerated by the cold fire of the bear dog's stare. They are no longer hunters. They are prey. The alliance is unspoken, forged in the crucible of their shared terror. They are a community of now. Their survival dependent on the man beside them. As dusk bleeds into the sky, they find no shelter. They can only huddle together in the open, back to back, spears ready. The sounds of the night are different here. They are not just the familiar rushes and calls. There is a new sound, the soft, heavy tread of something massive circling them in the darkness, just beyond the range of their vision. It is toying with them. They are no longer on a fool's hunt. They are trapped in a nightmare of their own making. The night is a siege. The heavy, circling footsteps are a form of psychological warfare, a relentless reminder of their predicament. Sleep is impossible. Every snap of a twig, every rustle of a leaf, is the lunge they are waiting for. Rook and Heron sit back to back, a tiny island of warmth and cheer in the vast, indifferent darkness. The foolish pride that drove them here has been burned away, leaving only the raw, shared instinct to see the sunrise. In the forced intimacy of their vigil, something shifts. Rook, whose life was saved by the man he despised, finds a piece of dried meat in his path. He breaks it into and passes a piece back to Heron without a word. Heron accepts. It is a treaty, a communion, a recognition of their shared fate. This is not the complex calculus of kin selection. It is a simpler, more profound truth. The person beside you is the only thing keeping the darkness at bay. The attack comes, as they knew it would, just before dawn. In the grey, disorienting light that blurs shapes and tricks the eye, there is no roar, no warning. The Amphicyon is simply there, a blur of speed and mass exploding from the shadows. It is not a test this time. It is an execution. It lunged for Heron, the smaller, seemingly weaker of the two. Heron, quicker and more agile. Pivots, thrusting his spear. The fire-hardened tip glances off the beast's thick shoulder, skittering on the bone. A pathetic pinprick against a mountain of muscle. The spear shaft snaps, and Heron is thrown to the ground. The wind knocked out of him, his weapon gone. The bear dog ignores him for a moment, its massive head turning to face Rook, who is scrambling to his feet. The beast sees him as the primary threat. It is a fatal miscalculation, and it is the only opening they will get, as the predator gathers itself to charge Rook. Heron, lying on the ground, does the only thing he can. He grabs a heavy, fist-sized rock and, with a final, desperate surge of strength, heaves himself forward, not at the beast's head or its flank, but at its hind leg. He drives his shoulder into its knee, wrapping his arms around the joint. A tiny hominid clinging to the leg of a giant. It is an act of pure, suicidal altruism. The bear dog roars, a sound of surprise and pain, its leg buckling. Its charge is thrown off balance, and it tumbles, crashing to the ground. In that moment, Rook sees the world with a terrible, crystalline clarity. He sees Heron, already being savaged by the beast's flailing jaws. He sees the wager, the female, the clan, all of it meaningless. He sees only the opening, as the bear dog struggles to rise. Its throat and soft underbelly are exposed. Rook does not hesitate. He drives his spear down with all the force of his powerful shoulders. A single, brutal, downward thrust that puts his entire body weight behind the point. The fid tip punches through hardened muscle and finds the life beneath. The great beast shudders, a final, agonized roar bubbling from its throat, and then is still. Silent. Rook stands over the two bodies, his chest heaving, his spear still buried in the predator's neck. Heron is gone, his life traded for an instant of opportunity. The cost of their pride is absolute. Rook does not celebrate. He does not even feel relief. He is hollowed out. A vessel filled with the ghosts of his own foolishness. He reaches down and, with a great effort, snaps off the long, curved canine tooth from the bear dog's jaw. He holds it in his hand. It is heavy, solid, real. It is the prize. But it is not a trophy. It is a memorial. He returns to the clan alone, walking out of the forest not as a victor, but as a haunted survivor. He carries no meat, only a single tooth and the terrible, silent weight of the story that will be buried with him. A story that will never be found in the fossil record, but will be carried in the memory of his clan for a generation. The story of the fool's hunt. He gives the tooth to no one. It is not offered to Willow, nor displayed for the clan. It is wrapped in a piece of hide and kept hidden, a private sacrament of guilt and loss. The rivalry is over, but so is the arrogance of youth. In its place is a quiet, somber gravity, the look of a man who has stared into the abyss of his own making and seen the price of victory. This is a story as old as our species, a fundamental lesson in the curriculum of human evolution. The struggle for dominance, for status, for love, is a powerful engine, but left unchecked by wisdom and community, it drives us only towards self-destruction. The true strength, the one that ensures the survival of the group, is not the power to defeat an enemy, but the courage to save a rival. It is the hard one, understanding that the bonds within the clan are more valuable than any prize won outside of it. Their story, played out in a forgotten forest a million years ago, is a parable etched into the very foundation of our social DNA. That is the chronicle we are charged to keep. If you can feel the weight of that tooth in your own hand, then join us. Place your hand beside this and leave your own mark on the story. The hunt is over, but the echoes of their choices, the foolish and the profound, still shape the landscape of our hearts. The cost of wisdom is always paid in the currency of loss. What ghosts are born from the deaths of rivals?